Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Investing Kev. This is going to be a quick video. I want to go over Bilibili, ticker BILI, and their Q3 earnings report that they released, as well as some things that stood out to me from the transcript from what I read. I also want to share some news related to the stock as well as the industry. For full disclosure, I own shares of Bilibili in my personal portfolio. I'm in it for the long term, so if you like this content, as always, please help me out in growing this channel by hitting the like button, subscribing, and letting me know in the comments what you think. Alright everyone, let's get started. If you don't know, I did a Bilibili stock breakdown and analysis video a while back, so feel free to check that out. That is currently episode 21. I will also place the link in the description box below. Looking at the third quarter results, they had total net revenues of 5.2 billion RMB, which is a 61% increase from the same period in 2020. They had 267.2 million average monthly active users, and their mobile monthly active users reached 249.9 million people, representing increases of 35 and 36%. They had average daily active users reaching 72.1 million people, a 35% increase from the same period in 2020, and their average monthly paying users reached 23.9 million people, a 59% increase from the same period in 2020. The chief executive officer of Bilibili had to say this: "During our peak summer season, user growth surged, engagement levels reached an all-time high, and they continued to expand their top line. In the third quarter, monthly active users and daily active users each grew 35% year over year, advancing us toward our 3-year growth goal. Importantly, our community is stickier and more engaged than ever. Users spend an average of 88 minutes per day on Bilibili, the longest time we have seen in our operating history. 88 minutes per day is roughly 1.5 hours per day. If you multiply that by 7 days a week, these users are spending about 10.5 hours per week on the platform." We closed the third quarter with record high revenues of 5.2 billion, up 61% year over year. Our revenue mix is more balanced and healthier, and we continue to improve monetization across our growing businesses. We believe we are on the right path to achieve our near and long-term goals, fortified by strong fundamentals, healthy balance sheet, and ample cash reserves of 24.4 billion RMB. Looking at the breakdown of the total net revenues, mobile games increased 9%. Their value-added services, also known as VAS, increased 95%, led by an increased number of paying users for the company's value-added services, including the premium membership program, live broadcasting services, and other value-added services. Their advertising revenues increased 110% from the year prior, and their e-commerce and other sector increased by 78%, primarily attributed to the increase in sales of products through the company's e-commerce platform. I also want to take a look at their transcript. There are some things that stand out. Daily video views were up 77% to 2.3 billion views. Monthly interactions were up 86% to 10 billion. And the monthly video submissions were up 80% to 10 billion. Each of these metrics represents all-time highs, and it reflects the health of our communities as well as the strength of the engine that powers our growth. In a recent BrandZ report, Bilibili was ranked as the number 2 most valuable brand name in China in terms of growth rate. They're growing their brand name, which is shown in the ad revenues growing by 110% year on year in the third quarter. And they have also strengthened their commitment to social responsibility. Using their Power Plus influence, they are further developing an inclusive community, promoting positive content, and enacting better environmental, social, and governance practices. Even though they had really great revenues, they also had an increase in operating expenses. Their sales and marketing expenses increased 37% year over year. The increase was primarily attributed to increased channel and marketing expenses to promote Bilibili's app and brand, as well as promotional expenses for the company's mobile games and an increase in headcount in sales and marketing personnel. Their general and administrative expenses increased 87% year over year. The increase was primarily due to increased headcount in general and administrative personnel, increased share-based compensation expenses, higher rental expenses, and other general and administrative expenses. And the research and development expenses increased 97% year over year. The increase was primarily due to increased headcount in research and development personnel and increased share-based compensation expenses. This company is in a very competitive industry, so it'll be interesting in how management navigates through it so they can be profitable someday. They also had to say this: "Our sufficient cash reserves gives us great confidence and ability to execute our growth strategy, which we believe will yield considerable return in the long run." With that in mind, we are currently projecting new revenues for the fourth quarter of 2021 to be between 5.7 billion RMB and 5.8 billion RMB, which would be an increase of about 500 to 600 million RMB in the fourth quarter compared to the third quarter. Looking at some news related to Bilibili, just recently, Bilibili's League of Legends Season 11 live streaming reached peak popularity of nearly 500 million people. This is when a Chinese esports team called Edward Gaming defeated a Korean Damwon Kia team to become the champion of the Season 11 Global Finals of League of Legends. The cumulative number of live streaming viewers increased by over 20% year over year. And looking at the industry of China, there are currently 720 million total gamers. 80% of gamers watch live streaming, 70% of gamers play esports, and 18% play games more than 30 hours per week. 97% of people aged 18 to 24 are gamers, 94% of people aged 25 to 30 are gamers, and 90% of people aged 31 to 35 are gamers. 23.7% of gamers live in Tier 1 and Tier 2 cities in China. These are your big name cities such as Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, and many more. And 76.3% of gamers live in Tier 3 and Tier 5 cities. These Tier 3 to Tier 5 cities, these are citizens with lower income levels, but they are rising every year. With the rise of the middle class in China in the coming years, I'm excited as people will have more money to spend on gaming, live streaming, and many more. This is definitely good news for the entertainment industry overall in China. Looking at Bilibili stock price, today they lost $8, which is a 9% drop. Looking at the after hours, they lost 91 cents, which is a 1.12% drop. I'm in this for the long term. I really like this company, and I'm dollar cost averaging through the highs and lows. I'm trying to build my position as much as possible. There you have it, everyone. This is the Q3 earnings report summary for Bilibili, as well as some industry news, as well as the stock related news. If you like this content, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you think. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe, and I'll see you all next time.